Hey, Christmas Eve is over. Christmas Day is over. Boxing Day is here. And hey, morning motivation. 5 things to do right away to get moving to hit those big goals before New Year's hits next week. Hey, you can get ahead of everybody else this morning. Mornings in the Lab with Keith and friends. 5 things to do right now. Let's get going. Get out of bed and get rolling now. Welcome to Mornings in the Lab where excuse.
When something negative comes up.
Building muscle and blood flow.
Nobody is expecting God.
If your lady's saying that, you're just
Be entertained by fun over here.
How have I slept? Has my sleep been good? Seven.
There we go. We're back at it. It's Boxing Day. You're in live on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and friends. You got myself, you got Johnny, you got Marty, you got Bruce and Jimmy over there. Yep. And we say bad words on this show. So put the headphones on the kids or put the earplugs in the kids or just walk them out of the room. Or you can introduce them to all the lovely sounds of Mornings in the Lab with Keith and friends. Today, Christmas Eve is past. Christmas Day is past. Around the corner is New Year's. Around the corner is 2025. Today, we're going to give you some things to think about. Morning motivation. 5 things to do right away. Not to wait for next week. Not to wait for tomorrow. 5 things to do today to get moving, get your ass going, achieve those goals you're considering tackling, or maybe not. But hey, Jimmy, let's bring in the crew. There's Marty. There's Johnny. I'm eager to chat with the boys after their Christmas Day experience. I have not experienced a Christmas Day after with Marty and Johnny yet, so I got to ask the boys how their Christmas Day was with the boys. How are you guys today? How are you? I got blue on today. I got rid of the white robe.
Good job, Keith.
I did. I think my kids were tired of seeing Dad's coffee stains and shit stains.
I was just say, what did you spill on the white one? That's the question.
Yeah, well, that's exactly it, Johnny.
My robes are black. My robes are black or fucking navy for that exact reason.
So
I don't got any robes, man. I just wear regular shit.
Marty just goes naked, Johnny, and you and I are crushing the robes, Johnny. Yes.
Well,
No,
naked under the robe.
I don't go naked. I free ball though.
There you go. Free ball is good. That's exactly
ball,
right. Yeah, I think the kids and the wife. I don't like when guys refer to the wife. I just don't like that. The wife. What the fuck is she like? The? I don't like that. Anyways, Lauren, I think the kids were all like, Dad, we got to get you out of the white robe. Like, oh, too many coffee stains on it. So, but I'm still gonna wear it though. But I thought I'd add a little spiel to the show today. How are you guys today, man? I feel a little bit of energy, but what's going on today, Marty? How was your Christmas Day yesterday?
It's pretty cool, man. It was real chill. We don't really do much. I told you we didn't really have the family come down, so it was real chill. Just hung out, had a couple people over, watched basketball, chopped it up.
Nice.
Ate.
Yes.
Ate good. You know, that was it.
Nice.
Yeah. I got a story for y'all though. I'm gonna let Johnny go. I got a story for y'all.
I want to hear that. Admittedly, and I think Johnny can relate to this. Like Lauren and I, we were talking about this yesterday. Like Christmas really changes. Hey, Johnny, as the kids get older, right? It's just a different experience than when there's young children. And truthfully, you know, when we were at my mom and dad's 2 nights ago, you guys, and Johnny, you can relate to this. Like Brookie's she's 8. So it's like there's that last little bit of magic with the 8-year-old in the room, right? And you got a grandchild, so you can still relate to this, Johnny. But it changes, as everybody's older, and it's a different experience, right? And good morning, United Brian. I see you there. I see your comment, brother. You've just joined myself, Keith and Johnny here, Mornings in the Lab with Keith and friends. The only morning show to get your ass out of bed. Morning show for men. Think Men's Health, Men's Journal. Howard Stern. I'll blast it into a blender. Clip Eagle. I see you there as well. And United Brian, happy birthday. But Johnny, comments on the kids, and how was your Christmas yesterday, pal?
It was good. You know, we the girls played games and we watched the movies and it's just I'll tell you this morning for whatever reason that alarm went off and I did not want to get up. You know, I think it's just the rhythm being broken. You know, when every day is really similar. I think I spent so much time relaxing over the next couple of days. My body's like, hey, you might want to relax a few more hours this morning. I was like, fuck you. God damn it. This is gonna hurt, but I'm gonna do it anyway.
Hey, I'm forcing myself back to the routine today. I ain't got to go to work today, but I'm making myself. I'm going just to get back. I'm gonna go for a few hours just to get back in the motion.
I love hearing this from you guys because, admittedly, when you see people on quote unquote TV, we put them on a pedestal and we think that they're unlike us. But now, when somebody listens in to hear, well, what do you mean John got up and he actually wanted to go back to bed? And Marty's like, I need to get back to my routine. So in other words, what we're revealing to people is that a little bit. Oh, Thomas Woodhams. Good morning, Thomas. Good morning. Good to see you there. Wow, consistency. It's true. We're normal and shit happens, right? Like, Johnny's like, maybe I don't want to go to work today, or maybe I don't want to do my lift today, but you're going to do it anyways. You're just going to get it sorted out, right? He's like, fuck that. I'm going to beat myself.
Man. Get back to it, man.
Yeah.
What's up, Woodhams?
What's up, Woodhams? Good to see you there, brother. Good to see you.
Can I tell you the story real quick? Go ahead, John. Go ahead, John. You look like you about to say something. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, kind of tagging on what Keith's saying. It's this is it's a management thing.
Yes.
It never just happens on autopilot all the time. You get in those good streaks where it's happening by itself, but then there's times where it's like, okay, I got to work for this one day.
But I think, Johnny, that's why. And I listen, I'm going to blow smoke up our asses for a second. So if you guys are listening in going, here this guy's being all self-fulfilling, I think there's value of what I'm going to say next. I think that's why we have success. I'm sorry. But because we're like everybody else, but we have been able to find a gear within ourselves to still be the 1%er, Johnny, Marty. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because
doing the shit that other people won't do is exactly what gets you there. Discipline.
That's true.
It is.
Doing the shit you don't want to do, and the shit you need to do even when you don't want to do it. And most people don't have that. And because of that, they don't make the progress, which means they don't have the success.
That's exactly right. It's exactly it. So we're going to get a little bit to some of these 5 things to do right away to get people out of bed and get themselves moving. And I'll share some stuff with the boys here this morning around titles instead on the show. I want to tell these boys some stuff. But listen, Woodhams, I got a question for you, Marty. Woodhams says, question to Marty. What's one thing you focus on for a good mindset in January 2025? Oh, good one, Marty. What are you thinking about, pal?
I'd probably say whatever you pick, just being consistent with it, man.
Yeah.
Because if you can stay consistent with it, it can lead into February, March, and then you're looking at having a bomb year and getting better in whatever that category is. So right now for me, it's consistency. So I'm looking at consistency in different places. I'm trying to be the same consistency in my relationships, my fitness, my business, and finances. I'm trying to be consistent in everything.
I think the biggest mistake we make, Marty and Johnny, and I'm talking to you, Woodhams, is we come into the new year and we think we got to do 5 things right away. Right, Marty? Which is like, no, just do one thing really well for a month. And then when you win that, do the second thing. I know because I've been guilty of that in the past. You know what I mean? You try to do too many things. Johnny.
But when we use these phrases and these figures of speeches, such as, the new year and coming into the new year, all it says is that you fucking slacked off this year.
Yeah. So
the idea of people saying, oh, the new year, this and new. How about just when you realize you're slipping, tighten it up right now. And then you don't ever, it's because you think about it, every time someone hits cruise control till the new year or till the birthday or till the vacation's over or whatever they're hitting the brakes for, look at the fucking life. Another day waiting is another day wasted.
Yeah. It's interesting because Thomas, like, growth is growth, right? And you're right. You're absolutely right, Woodham. That's exactly it. And I agree with Johnny. And that's, again, one of the reasons I believe this show is and will continue to be successful is because we've subscribed to this mindset that why wait until next Monday? Why wait until January 1st? Why wait until I'll do it tomorrow? No, I'm hoping that you can find a reason, like Jack Dugan joined us in the morning shows. Like, you know what? The show is free. These guys are offering free advice, free coaching, free nuggets. I'm going to tune into them daily and help me achieve my goals.
I believe most people, so many people do this dumb shit. It's because it's a learned behavior.
Yes,
I agree. They watch the people that, that they look up to. They watch the people that raise them do this. And it's just, it's so normal. It's like, after this, after that. Versus if you were raised the other way, no, I'm not waiting. you completely change the trajectory of your life.
Well, and Johnny, it's a societal thing too. It's certainly a societal thing, right? Like let's be frank here. There's an entire cottage industry built around New Year's resolutions and New Year's shows and 2025 stuff and 2024 stuff. And even we will in many ways like tack on to things we've done and tack on things next year. And I guess it's because and that's why I love our concept, boys, about the loop, because when you think about a loop, there's not an end to it. But yet we are so conditioned to working in 7-day weeks, 365-day years, 8-hour work days with a beginning and an end. And what we're trying to do, John and Marty, is condition people to thinking that, no, we're going to be here in 23 hours from now doing it again. And then 46 hours doing it again. There's really no end to our discussion, right? So, and I agree with Thomas here, and you're right, Woodhams. It's because people follow the suit of everyone else, and that's it. So it's finding ways to be the best version of yourself. Marty, you said you had a story. What happened yesterday with your story, brother? Is it a big back story from the Chipotle restaurant? Yep. Everyone. Oh, there you go.
Not Chipotle though.
That's a fucking crazy one, man.
John's gonna like this one.
Do tell.
So so one of my family members, he's not like in the gym or anything, which is fine. We all got people that we know, family, friends that don't.
We all got some of that. We all got it,
and it's perfectly fine.
Yes.
And I try not to even talk about the gym around them because I don't want anybody to feel uncomfortable.
Yes.
So one of my cousins, he was like, "Yeah, man, I ain't like y'all. I don't go to the gym. I ain't got time for that." So you know how you got that connection with your mom? My mom looking at me with the side eye like, don't you say anything. She looking at me like, you better not say nothing. So I'm like.
My first question with that one would be if I was in the room, I would say, what else don't you have time for?
Yeah.
Because the list goes on.
The list goes on.
The list goes on.
Yeah. So I just kept watching basketball, But at the same time, he in there complaining about dates, complaining about work, complaining about all this other shit, but don't got time to work out. And I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna go on a tangent. I'm just gonna let him have it.
Did you?
He got it.
Did you?
No, I just chilled out. I just chilled out.
Oh, so mom's side eye worked, right? She's like,
oh, my mom knows me. Yeah, she was like, don't you dare, just let it go. It's Christmas.
In these situations, whether it's family, friends, it doesn't matter. You got to look at that person that's drowning.
Yeah.
And you have to quickly decide, if I throw this motherfucker a life vest, will he put it on?
Yeah.
Because if I put it on, I'll throw it to him. But most people, you throw that life jacket, they want nothing to do with it. They think they're swimming they think they're swimming just fine.
That's it. That's exactly it. Hey, Woodhams, thanks for popping by, my brother. Have a great day over there in London, as Marty would say. And we'll hopefully hang out with us later on this week too. So
yes, sir.
Hey, boys, I want to show you something here that it was for good conversation yesterday at Christmas, where I was at Lauren's parents, and I shared this video with some family members, and it just relates to just the climate of the world right now, and it relates to some offhanded, funny comments that Trump made around he wants to buy Denmark, wants to buy Canada, wants to invite Canada to become part of the United States, and so forth. And I saw this video, and we're gonna put it up here right now, which I know you boys have not seen it. It was on X. It's a 1-minute video. It's going to make you go, well, fuck yeah. Like, just makes a lot of sense. Let's watch the video. It's great for debate. My opinion is just, it's intriguing to me because I'm the Canadian on the show and you guys are the Americans. So let's watch the video. I think
stay up there, man.
Yeah, well, this is kind of funny. So let's check this out. So Jimmy, let's put it on here. Let's get it rolling here. Let's check it out.
What if Canada, the United States, and Mexico united into a single sovereign country, covering approximately 23.52 million square kilometers of land area, boasting a total GDP of $30,179 trillion, would make it the world's largest economy. With an estimated population of 500 million, it would rank as the third most populous country, following India and China. The potential capital city of this new nation could be New York City, and its official languages would likely be English, Spanish, and French. The per capita GDP would be an impressive $62,000, positioning the citizens among the wealthiest globally. Additionally, this unified country would wield a robust and modern military force, with over 1,600,000 active personnel, making it the second largest military globally, surpassing India, and trailing only behind China, which it has 285,000 active persons.
Fascinating to me. Fascinating.
My first thought is this is just like any other situation where the person that's leading has to be taking fucking really good care of himself before he can lead. So what fucking country is going to lead this fucking charge? Because they're all fucked up.
I just find it. So I know we try to keep things light here on the show and not getting too crazy down the path of politics and so forth. I just found it fascinating.
That wasn't political. I was just saying.
No, I know.
All three of these countries are
everybody's fucked up.
No, I agree with you, John.
Yeah.
I think it's fun. What I found most striking about that, I found what's most striking about the illustration is it just really paints a picture on the world today. Like, you think about, so countries are businesses, right, boys? They are. And we measure countries through GDP.
Literally. And people
Right?
don't understand that.
Right. So if we think about, look at Honda and Nissan are merging, like we're moving towards our first trillionaire in the world, Elon Musk. Like the value of dollars have gotten. So when Jonny and I grew up, Marty, like the old guys here, $1 million is a lot of money. $1 million now is like, okay, fuck, whatever.
Yeah. If you were a millionaire when we were kids, you were like way elite.
Right, Jonny?
Now
we're talking.
Now, millionaires everywhere. If you got to be elite, that's that. The old 7 figures is the 8 figures today.
Yeah,
Exactly.
they say it's easier to be a millionaire than get a 6-pack nowadays.
Yeah, right. So it stands
Look at Johnny.
Well, and then see, the thing about it is when these motherfuckers realize if you can get the 6-pack and you take those habits and you put it towards business, I would say 2 years. It's all it takes.
Yeah,
I can agree with that.
it stands to reason though. When I look at business, and businesses are always trying to get bigger. You're going from million status to billion status to trillion status. Why wouldn't the same thing be happening with countries? And all you have to do is look at China and India and go, okay, well, if Canada is over here and the United States is over there and we're trying to compete with China or India, you ain't competing because you don't have it. Just your business is too small. So in many ways, there makes a lot of sense to combine the three nations. You got low cost labor in Mexico. You got some higher cost labor in North America, average $62,000. Like there's a lot of, value. And one of the things that Trump threw on the table is, hey, Canadians, how about your tax rates being 60% less? So I've told you, Marty, every dollar I make, I got to give away 51 cents of it to the government, right? So we're talking about 60% less taxes and a military, and a country protected by the greatest military in the world. Because boys, I don't have a military here in Canada. Like I actually don't.
Brother, I
nice.
don't think it's fucking necessary. Jesus Christ. I mean, we got so many fucking weapons on this planet, we'll blow it up 10 times over.
I wanted
Come on, man.
Go ahead, Johnny.
Yeah.
I wanted to throw something on the table real quick.
It's like going to a butter knife fight with a fucking machine gun. There's so many weapons on this planet. We don't need all this shit.
It's true, man. What's up, Marty?
Well, it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and get caught without it. But
there you go.
But
Wow.
I wanted to throw. We get the if we were to do that, we get the whole immigration thing off of the that's not going to be an issue or an argument anymore. Not to get political.
I hear you. Well, we get the same challenges up here, man. We
get, yeah. I mean, that was a whole catastrophe.
Yes.
And then you look at the families or the ethnicities that are dominating here in the United States. 2 of them are the Chinese and the Indians. And that's who our strongest, that's who our competitors are. They just highlighted in the video.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's not a bad idea if you really think about it, but I don't think that would ever happen.
I mean, I'm with you there, Marty. I agree. I don't think it would be a bad thing either. I just think, who the fuck's going to lead the charge? If
you're right about that.
I said this to my family members because Marty, you've been here, Johnny, you haven't, but just so Marty's straight north of me. I don't know, 20-hour, 25-hour drive, 3-hour plane flight. Straight north of me is Churchill, Manitoba. Churchill is on the Hudson Bay. Just north of that is the fucking Arctic. So like Russia. So I said to my family, like tomorrow, somebody could just show up in Churchill and plant a flag. It could be either Russia or it could be the United States. Who would you like to have plant the flag? I know my answer to that question. Because I can tell you right now, you could show up in Churchill and nobody's stopping you, Marty or Johnny. You're like, oh yeah, I'm showing up to plant my flag. They're like, oh yeah, we're nice Canadians. Just come on in and hang out with us. Anyways.
Yeah, y'all ain't stopping shit.
No. Let's keep it going, Jimmy. Accountability check-in on December 26th, Boxing Day. Johnny's going for a pee. Marty's going to regroup. And we're going to keep it rolling here, guys. And we're going to come back. We're going to talk about the 5 things to do right away. Get out of bed and get rolling. Then I got some fun things to talk about. Is sparkling water good for you? And how to politely decline food you hate over the holiday season here. If I got some time for that as well. So listen, let's get after it. Today, tomorrow, next week, I got an invitation for you. Think about this. Work smarter. Oh, I'm going to have my coffee. Not harder. Yeah, work smarter, not harder is cute. But most who say it, they do neither. Success demands both grit and strategy. You can't outsmart the grind. You can't outwork a bad game plan. Big wins come when you combine a game plan that works, relentless effort to make it unstoppable. Shortcuts, nation, they don't scale. They just don't scale. They're quick hits. In and out, boom, boom. So while you're looking for one, someone else is outworking you. Someone's setting the foundation. Someone's pouring the concrete to build the future. So stop debating. Smarter versus harder. Here's the reality, nation. Do both. Yeah, if you do one, not the other, you're not going to succeed. There you go. So here you go. You done listening to this? You done reading this message? Start doing now. There you go. It's accountability check-in. Good morning, everybody. You got Keith Bilous here. Mornings in Live with Keith and Friends. I invite you to subscribe to the channel, like the channel, tell your friends about the only morning show that get your ass to the bed and get you moving to that next stage in life. And boys, I thought today's key topic I'd throw on the table for a few minutes to get into today's was, and again, we like to talk about the constant similar themes. I was talking to one of my family members last night. She's like, what do you guys talk about on the show? I'm like, we talk about, men's content, men's health, men's,
Question be, what don't we talk about?
I was just gonna say,
for real. We talk about everything.
I was just gonna say, there's things that I said, Marianne, we talk about things most don't want to talk about, which is what we talk about here on the show. And one of them was this idea of things you got to do to get yourself going. And I said to her, we say a lot of the same things, but in my experience in life, you need to hear something a gazillion times, Marty, before the light goes on, Jonny. Right. And it's like you go through your journey before, like the guy's got to see your message in his Instagram feed 1,000 times before the light goes on where he finally says, John Anderson, I need your help. Marty, I've seen your big back content 3,000 times. I need your help. So again, that's
literally how it happens.
I believe that because that's what this is. It's just, we got to constantly remind people to do things and finally like, okay, I'm tired of feeling shitty. I'm reaching out to Jonny. I'm reaching out to Marty. So I thought we could just kind of have some fun around this idea of 5 things to do right away, not wait until tomorrow, get your life going, get out of bed, hit those goals and move forward. Right. And so forth. So one of the things that I wanted to throw, especially with Boxing Day today too, is kind of if we're thinking,
what is it? Boxing Day?
Yeah. I was just going to ask that question. What is Boxing Day?
Oh, are you guys serious? You guys don't refer to Boxing Day? No?
Yeah. What is Boxing Day?
Nope. Oh, okay. I didn't really realize you guys did not know that. So post-Christmas is Boxing Day. So it's a big thing here in Canada. And I know in the US it's all about Black Friday, but typically here in Canada, Boxing Day was the day you went shopping after Christmas, boys, to all the big box retailers and lined up for cheap TVs and cheap stuff. And it was always post-Christmas.
That's where boxing, like you're boxing for your position in line or something.
That's what it sounds like. That's what it is in America.
Yeah. So that's kind of really what the name really stands for, is this idea of just post-show deals. Now, admittedly, boys, the Boxing Day experience has largely died down here in Canada because of Black Friday and all the pre-Christmas experiences. But I grew up where you'd get the big newspaper on the Christmas Eve, and on Boxing Day, there'd be people lined up outside of the stores waiting to get that free TV or waiting to get that couch set for like 88% off, right? Like,
Never understood that.
No kidding, eh?
Yeah. I mean, the idea of being in a cattle call to go get one of something when there's 100 people going to get it, or maybe the ratio is even worse.
Oh, I'm with you.
It just seems like it's just like it just didn't. I mean, not even thinking about the money. It's just the idea of, okay, I'm gonna go get in line to be one of 100, maybe. That's appealing to me.
So, Jonny, it's again, when I met you, we met each other. When you were just so wired, like some people the same way, dude. I am drinking that exact same Kool-Aid of you. That's why I'm like, no, I want to be the different guy. Like, I don't want
to spend the money.
Yeah, right, precisely. I'd rather go work my ass off so I can go hire a person to go stand in line in a different line to go get the TV for me at a better rate. Like, I don't know. I just being in a cattle call or being in an environment where it's just A, I don't like crowds to start with, and then B, where you're just being herded around like cattle, not for me. No, not for me. I agree with you there. So, okay, listen, I want to throw some things out here for you guys to just kind of chew on here. So, listen, 5 things to do today. Get going. More motivation. 5 things to do right now. Right now, nation, you're in the holiday spirit. Embrace the spirit of giving. You see, Jonny, Marty, Boxing Day originated as a day of charitable giving. So why not start your morning by embracing this tradition? So if you're starting your day right now, guys, maybe you want to donate some unused items around your house that you got for Christmas. Maybe there's some stuff you're kicking around. You're like, I don't want this. Go give it to somebody. That's something you can do today to make yourself feel better. Is line some stuff up and donate them. How about scoring some post-holiday deals? Jonny, Marty, do you look for deals post-holidays?
No. Again, I think the idea of looking for a deal is a scarcity mindset.
Yes.
I don't want to invest my time in trying to find something that saves me a few bucks. I want to invest my time on making a whole lot of bucks.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Next one, which is things you can do and get going right now, especially with family and friends, is maybe enjoying some festive sports and entertainment. Marty, did you check out any of the football yesterday on Netflix? And how was your experience with that with the football game yesterday? Did you watch any of it?
Only basketball yesterday. Christmas. NBA is Christmas Day. I mean, Christmas Day is NBA for me, man. No NFL. Yeah, we get NFL a break. But
so we know that Netflix streamed those games yesterday, and apparently it went off without a hitch. They had a quite successful streaming.
I heard it was smooth. Though.
Yeah. How about you, Jonny? Did you guys have any sports on in the house yesterday?
We were watching Christmas movies all day. The girls pretty much dictate. The girls dictate what we watch.
Which Christmas movies did you guys watch? Yeah, I know. Which ones did you watch? Do you remember?
It was a series. We watched. It was like it's kind of, you watch the first one, you get the idea of it. They've watched it over and over, but I don't remember it. Anyway, but by the time you get to the third one, so we just kind of ran this little trio. Yeah. And then you're kind of moving in and out. You're playing a game. It almost becomes kind of cool back. It was called. It was Tim Allen. I think it was called Santa Claus, and basically he turned into Santa Claus. And I vaguely remember once we started watching, because these were movies that I watched with them when they were little.
100%.
And so once you start watching, I'm like, okay, I remember this.
Yeah. I hear you. Hey, Jonny, I saw your Christmas card picture yesterday. So you had 2 of the 3 girls from home yesterday.
Yep. Yeah. The oldest one works for Amazon, so she is really difficult to shake loose. Yeah. Plus she lives, the 2 that were here, they live just a few hours away. She lives like 5 hours away, 6 hours away. Okay. Yeah. So usually we do like a makeshift Christmas. We literally leave the Christmas tree up in the house until they get here. Sometime one year it was in April, but I don't give a shit, man. I love the Christmas spirit.
Oh, I love that. How long did she work at Amazon? That's a pretty cool gig for her. That's a good job.
Yeah, she literally got taken. She got hired at Amazon right out of college. So she's like I think it's like it's how she's at that point where she's worked X amount of years, where she's in like the top 7% of Amazon, meaning that most people can't handle the fucking pressure. They crack.
I love that.
Leave.
Oh, that's what's up, man.
I have so this is great, Jonny, because I'm thinking we'll do it tomorrow. I found a fascinating, Charlie Munger sat down with Jeff Bezos recently and did a podcast, and I found 10 or 15 points from that podcast that are just exceptional points for us to
I bet.
Oh shit. Jonny, Marty, some of these comments from Bezos, I'm gonna share them with you guys. You're gonna kind of go, holy fuck, man. Like
that's like putting Tom Brady and Joe Montana down for a talk.
Yes.
Who was it? Bezos and who?
And Charlie Munger.
Man.
Yeah. So it's great. So I'm gonna hopefully, maybe I'll put that on the table for tomorrow's discussion. Some great nuggets, and there's some nuggets there that you hear Bezos say, and you're like, you kind of want to go, fuck, duh. You're because you kind of feel like you're a tool for almost not coming up with it yourself, because he makes such, like, I hate the word common sense, but he makes such statements that you're like, well, of course. Right, so we'll get into that in a couple days.
He's a beast, man. I love it.
Oh, he's a beast. Yeah. How about the rumor? Did you guys see the rumor where he was getting married to Lauren Sanchez for a $600 million wedding, and he had to refute that?
Oh, I didn't see that.
Bill Ackman, famous investor Bill Ackman, gets onto X and says, "No, everybody, that's fake. Because if somebody is spending $600 million on a wedding, $600 million, like all of the guests are getting houses. Like you can't spend that kind of money on a wedding. It's actually quite impossible unless you're buying every guest.
Unless you're doing shit like, you're taking your fucking jet and you're going and picking everybody up and you're charging people some exorbitant amount of money because it becomes a tax write-off.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
There's so many ways. I mean, a big ticket like that is just to find a way to tuck some money somewhere.
Well, it's find a way to spend some money so you don't got to give it to the government, right? So
that's what I mean. You rather spend it than give it away. That's a great position to be in, man. That's great. That's when I got to the first point in my life where my account was like, you better go spend some money. I was like, oh, this is a different world.
And then you're like, speaking of different world, I got something to throw on the table here in a few minutes. But before we do that, last thing, guys, practice some self-care and reflection today. So if you're looking for some advice to get yourself moving today after Christmas, to go and achieve some goals and do it before everybody's waiting for New Year's, do this, guys. Embrace the spirit of giving. Score some post-holiday deals if it's important to you. Sit down, spend some time, watch some sports, entertainment with your family. Spend some quality time with some loved ones, and then go take care of yourself first. You do these 5 things right now today, trust me, you're going to feel great, and you're going to be ahead of most that aren't going to do this today. So, Marty, let's do the fit tip, and let's come back. I got a topic that I'm going to throw out here. I'm a self-made millionaire. This is the one luxury item that I regret buying. And Jonny, kind of refers to what you said a couple of minutes ago. This is an interesting one because I
know what it is.
All right, Marty, you're up. Do it, brother.
All right, man, we got the fitness tip for today. I already sprinkled it in there in the intro if you were here, but if not, I'll briefly go through the story. Yesterday was Christmas. I had some family over, and this is the fitness tip. People know I love my fitness. I'm passionate about it, and unfortunately, I had a family member in there saying, yeah, I don't have time to work out. So as my mom is glancing at me, looking at me like, don't respond to this family member. Don't say nothing. She giving me that eye. You know how your mama look at you when you about to get in trouble. I just thought to myself, who are you listening to, right? And I thought about all these clients I had that listen to people who are negative, who throw them off of their goals, and they stop training, and they still big back, or they still never lost their weight, for those of y'all who don't know what big back means. Who you're listening to is the key to hitting your goal and not hitting your goal. It's the key to changing your life and staying the same, or changing your life versus getting worse, because we don't stay the same. We either declining or you getting better. All right. So don't let the ignorant, the uninformed, the uneducated, and the inexperienced stop you from feeling your best, looking your best, and just overall becoming the best version of yourself mentally, spiritually, and physically. Nothing else to it, man. It's pretty simple. And don't let that throw you off, man. Keep staying on your grind. Keep listening to people like me, Jonny, and Keith. And let's crush the rest of 2024. And let's start some momentum to go into 2025. And let's keep it going, man. That's the fitness tip for today.
Oh, it's the fit tip of the day with Marty. See, Marty Fit drops them every day at 8:30 Eastern time.
Yes, sir.
Surround yourself.
I'm gonna kind of run with the tail end of that one, brother. So ours are gonna kind of stick together today. They'll be kind of a fitness into a lifestyle. It'll be like
beautiful.
It could be like a double play.
Let's do it, man. Hey, let's start doing that, Jonny. If you can, if it's in line with what you got to say.
I mean, I most of my shit, I just fucking pull off the cuff. I just figure out what I'm going to say once I sit down, and so because I got 15 minutes from your segment to mine, so I could probably take a piece of yours and open it up, because that's what we do in conversation anyway. I say something and you take a piece, open it, unpack it a little more, and I do the same thing with you. So it's we're already doing it. Now it's just putting in the segment.
It's one thing I will say. I got some comments from some folks yesterday said that we do a good job being conduits of conversation, exchanging ideas. And that's one thing we do very well on the show here, which is exchange ideas, create dialogue, don't talk at, and encourage others to join the conversation, and knowing that there's grace offered with different points of view. But Jonny, you said that your accountant talked to you after you hit a certain financial mark over your lifetime. And I've been in a similar situation, which is like, okay, I guess I can go an unlimited visa. I found a great story here where somebody said this fellow became multimillionaire and he regrets his first major purchase. And I'm going to share this here in a second because I think it was a great piece. Jonny, as you were going through your path of making some cash and having some financial independence, do you reflect on buying something in your journey? You're like, fuck, that was a dumb idea or that was a dumb decision, Jonny?
I mean, if I mean, to a certain extent, I think, I mean, I guess yes and no to answer, to be straight with the answer, because I can always look back and go, fuck, I should have pivoted a little bit with that purchase, even with, you know, investment or real estate or whatnot. But yeah, I mean, like the last one, if I could literally, I basically, the last one that I did, I would have done differently if I had another chance to do it. But at the time, it just worked out well. It was basically a vehicle, you know, I needed to go spend a couple $100,000. So I went and got a G-Wagon.
Oh yeah. And, yes.
Because of the, you know, it's over 6,000 pounds. So it's a 100% write-off. Then also too, the fact that it's it's part of the John Anderson brand, you know, it's part of what, you know, makes me me. We use it in videos, blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
Crazy that makes that fucking completely legal, but it does.
Yes. Yeah. I know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean. Yes.
You know, and I probably, if you're looking back, what I would have done is I would have probably end up taking that money, you know, because I could have taken that, you know, that almost 250 and I could have put it into I could have almost fully bought a fucking small cabin up at Big Bear, next to the snow resort, you know. And I could have, knowing what I know now too. I mean, I could have found this information at the time. I didn't really understand, but I could have easily done the same thing and used that money instead of getting taxed on it with that purchase too. I just, you know, at the time, you know, it was. We were at our place in Tahoe, and our current vehicle, our Porsche Cayenne, actually fucking broke down on the way up that hill. We almost rolled off into a ravine. And so I was like, I swear to God, I called my car broker, and I was like, you got a fucking G63s? Hell yeah, I got 3 of them. I said, okay, put one of those motherfuckers on the truck and get up here to Tahoe, take this one away, and give me the new one. Because I'm telling you, dude, it's a single track road to the cabin, right?
Yeah.
This motherfucker just dies, and it's like there's gravel on this thing, so I'm all of a sudden the power, everything is gone. There's no power steer, there's no fucking power brakes. I'm a big strong dude. I got both hands on the fucking steering wheel, one under grip like a fucking deadlift, and I am smashing both of my fucking feet on the brakes so we don't slide backwards off this fucking ravine. We probably would have rolled over 3 or 4 times before we got to the bottom of that little gully, you know. So Terry, of course, jumps to it. I said, okay, listen, babe. I said, I'm going to move one of my feet to the fucking throttle. As soon as I get there, you turn the key. And she turned the key. It fucking started. I stomped the fucking throttle. We were burning up that hill as fast as we could, and got it fucking parked. And I was like, we're not taking that motherfucker down the hill. because if that thing dies again, you know, keep in mind, I'm in protection mode. Well, I got my queen in the car. Thank goodness my daughters weren't in there, but I got my 2 fucking pits in the back. I'm thinking to myself, nobody is going to benefit from fucking rolling over 3 times.
No,
this mother, you know. So that was the prompt of me saying, okay. And then the funny part was, I had just met with my accountant the week before, and she's like, okay, this is what you need to do. I was like, well, I guess. And I was sitting there, what am I going to spend this on? Well, now I know. It's because it was like, okay, I need to get rid of this one and get that one. So there we are.
I'm surprised.
Had I done it again? Man. What's that?
I said, I'm surprised you didn't tell us that story when you were up there.
I think Jonny forgot.
That was because it was the year before.
Oh, okay, got you. I got you.
Yeah. But it was if I would have done it again, what I would have done is I would have replaced the Porsche with something that was, you know, not quite that high of a ticket, and then I could have taken, you know, this huge chunk and gone and got myself a snow cabin, which I'm going to do anyway. But that's what I would have done if I could have done it again.
Yeah, that's a crazy story, man. That's one of those situations where, like, how much is it going to cost me because I don't want to die? $200,000, okay, great. Here's my check. Right? It's basically one of those.
That was it. It was a very guiltless purchase because I was like, these things are expensive, and if you're getting something with low miles, you're going to spend a shitload of money. So I was like, okay, what the fuck's the difference here? Let's just get this done. Let's just get it. Let's get it basically next to new one. So that we're rolling. I'm not having this shit with problems again. It comes with a whopping warranty. My Porsche was old. It was 8-9 years old. So anyway, there you have it.
That's fascinating. So I could maybe relate, Jonny, a little bit. So I made some big purchases after I sold my company and made a few bucks. And, you're like, okay, I got to go spend some money because I feel like I've earned it. So, I bought the big expensive Tesla Roadster. And I think about this, right? So I bought that Roadster and that thing cost me a couple $100,000. It was $250, whatever it was. Like, if I would have bought Tesla stock at the same, if I would have bought,
oh god, you fucking rolling right now, dude. Oh my god, how much would you have made? That 250 would have turned into a few million easily.
So, Jonny, I don't know if we would have met each other because I'm not sure if I'd be doing the show right now if I would have bought $250,000 of Tesla stock.
But it would have gone more than 4 times. It probably would have turned $1.5 million, couple $1 million bucks.
Absolutely, 100%. So that was crazy, my big. Absolutely.
That one right there, you would have never known though. You could have never known it. You know what I mean? At least mine was. It was a choice. Yeah. I just made the choice based upon kind of a situation, if you will.
Yes, absolutely. And admittedly, a lot of ego and stuff got involved with that purchase, but I found it reflective of the story I found here. There's this fellow, works his ass off and makes a bunch of money, and the next thing you know, he finds himself owning a Patek Philippe watch for $1.5 million.
Holy Toledo! And
this human being says to himself, and I think Jonny, you might even be able to relate to this even with the G-Wagon. I know I could relate to this with the Tesla, some of the things that I bought. He's like, for the first few weeks, it was great. My pride was great. My ego was great. I got into the truck, or I put my watch on. Every time I looked at my wrist, I felt really good about myself. He says, but then over time, I found myself worrying about knocking the watch into a door or breaking the watch or having the watch stolen. He says, it got to a point where the watch was more stressed than actually had fun owning it because I had to service it. I had to worry about security. I had to worry about everything else than just owning this nice watch. And then he goes, and I have these customers that I have a watch that's worth more than their house looking at me going, what the fuck, man? You're wearing this watch and I'm struggling to pay for my house. He's like, after a while, the whole appeal. Exactly.
Damn.
So what you're saying is so my the Cayenne that we got rid of.
Yeah.
That one was that was our road warrior. What I mean? That was like the one that it was nice, but it was well used. You know what I mean? Our other Porsche, the 2 Porsches, they kind of stay tucked away. They're nice. They're cars that we would use in situations, right?
Yes.
So when we got this G-Wagon, it became obviously right on the fucking list of, okay, we got to be careful with this car. We don't have a road warrior anymore. Motherfucker, I didn't think of that. It was like, son of a bitch.
Right. And what this fellow talks about too, and what strikes me most about what he's going to say next is I grew up working at a grocery store with a local owner in a community of whatever, 20,000 people. And guys, 2 things struck me about him, and it relates to this. He parked very far away from his grocery store, didn't park in the first stall. And he drove an old Buick. And I said to him, Jim, why do you drive an old Buick? And why do you park away? Yeah. He's like, well, Keith, he goes, I'm not driving around this community in an expensive car when I'm asking John Anderson and C. Marty Fit to come buy groceries in my grocery store. He says, if they can't afford groceries and they see me driving in a Jaguar, how's that making them feel? I'm like, oh, fuck, that's a good point. Yeah, he goes, because I create a disconnect. And he says, why would I park in the first stall when I want that stall for Marty?
That's a customer. Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So those 2 things really taught me those thought processes. But then when I go back to this watch, the guy's like, he sold the watch because what it did for him was that watch was creating too much of a disconnect with him and his customers. Right. Which is his customers were like, I can't relate to you anymore because you're wearing this watch that's worth more than anything. So I guess the point of the story is that, as we go down our journey of trying to doing audacious big things, and sometimes when we achieve those big audacious things, my learning from this, and I think even Jonny's learning from this, is yes, let's have our ego. Yes, let's enjoy the ego. Yes, let's enjoy this idea of, yes, the credit card out, let's go spend it. But from experience, recognize that you're going to go through an experience after it where, okay, man, maybe I'm disconnected. Maybe I don't need this thing. It's going to depreciate expensively. There's a lot of things happening with that. So
I got a question for the OGs on the show, man. So I see all this. I see a lot of stuff about like if you got a certain watch, a certain car, it can like be good for networking and get you in certain rooms and things like that. So one, is that true? And two, would you consider making a purchase for that?
great question. I'll go first if I can. The Tesla, when I bought it, Marty, opened up a lot of doors. It opened up a lot of conversations. But you know, I had this conversation with my brother-in-law last night. After a while, just use me, Marty, you, me. Do you really care what I drive? No. Right? Like, you don't give a fuck. You're like, I don't give a hell of a shit what he drives at the end of the day. Right? So maybe you're intrigued at first, like, oh, this guy bought a Tesla. Why did he buy a Tesla? Maybe it introduced you and I to the conversation. But after a while, I don't know if it really holds any much value at the end of the day.
Well, here's the kind of go on. I agree with that. But think like this, Marty. That thing might open, but that person that's allowed, that opened his door for you, he's looking at you now. He's looking at your character. He doesn't give a shit what you drive, and you're still sleeping until 10 a.m.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, okay, this guy's got some shit. Now let's see, does he have the habits that actually make me want to keep the fucking door open? I'm going to slam this motherfucker back in his face.
Well, and
that make a lot of sense.
And Johnny, that's a good point which you raised too, because I think what it did for me and probably for you, Johnny, is it opens the door. Because then the next question is, so what do you do for a living? Like, how did you, so I know for me, like I was 37, 38 when I bought that Tesla. So a lot of people show up at my house. You've been to my house and then see my car and then look at me, you know, I'm a younger fella, like, holy fuck, man, how did you earn that? Or what did you do that? Or how did you do? So it was a lot of curious how and why and what did you, right? Yeah. And then after that, it's kind of this, oh, okay. But to John's point, it's like, what were the habits that you did to achieve the success, right? Or was it a fluke or was it a lottery? No, I fucking put the time in to achieve this, right? And that's what I think is the goal.
Well, and keep in mind what we're talking about is different types of status here, right?
Yeah.
You can have status in your bank account. You can have status in your car. You can have status in your body. Like with me, that was most people are going to look at a big dude and think that he's traded his life for his physique. My physique is what helped me create my life.
Yes. Yeah. But I place value in that. So for me, the way that you appear shows me the habits that you put in to appear that way. I place a lot of, like, that's big value for me because you're making the right choices. You're making choices. And that to me, Johnny, that is the ultimate flex in life.
Well, and that's the thing. If a person has the physique and they have the other parts of their life, they understand how to take that and place it elsewhere. It's the guy that's got the physique and you look a little closer and he still hasn't applied that shit to the rest of his life. That's where it gets, that's where the stigmatism comes from.
And right or wrong, I just, those are values of mine. I place value in that. I female and male, that's just an importance to me because it shows to me that you're not afraid to put the time in, you're not a fucking lazy ass. Marty, no different than that video you dropped yesterday. The young lady saying what she desires in a human being, but then I'm like, young lady, go look in your own mirror because it doesn't add up with what you your habits aren't lining up with the habits that you desire. And I'll leave that there, Christopher Martin. You know what I'm talking about?
I love it. Exactly.
Yeah. Johnny, lifestyle tip, and then we got AJ joining us for an end of week discussion. Let's do it.
Oh, he's back.
Yeah, let's do it, Johnny.
All right, so people have this idea that the first of the year is going to come and they've got a resolution, they're going to put it in gear and get going. Here's the thing. If you're waiting, even though it's just a few days away, if you're waiting, you're probably not going to succeed. Because when you're ready to make that change, you're ready to take the first step, you'll do it now. Because when you really want something, you don't want to wait. So if you want to wait, you got to really ask yourself the question, how bad do you want it? Because if you're still sitting there saying, I'm going to wait till the first to take the first step, you better rethink this. There's a solid possibility you won't make the haul. You won't make the long run to reach that goal. So really, really think about this. How bad do you want it? Rock and roll.
Oh, that's simple, but really powerful. I'm just reflecting on those words and how bad do you really want it? And because I guess if you don't want it bad enough, you're still going to keep waiting, right? And I go,
you're fucking waiting today. You got to wait tomorrow. The habit of waiting is in place. You got to uproot that motherfucker.
That's what. Speaking of uprooting the motherfucker, we got our brother AJ Zegler joining us here in the lab. There's a good segue. How you doing here, brother? Hey guys, he put the hat on today. I'm expecting he just didn't roll over out of bed. He had a little more time to put the hat on and bring himself together. And you got a Rock jersey on today too, Zegler, or what?
Yeah, it's an old Woodstock t-shirt.
There you go.
Yeah. You know what? We finished that last episode on Tuesday on Christmas Eve, and I went back into the bedroom where my wife was, and the first thing she said when she looked at me was, "Did you go on the show with your hair like that?" And I was like, "Yeah," but it was actually really well received, I thought. And then she's like, "You didn't do it or anything? You just went on the show like that?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "All right, well, I guess I'll just throw the hat on again today." I don't know.
I mean, that's what it's all about, baby. It's all about just being unapologetically yourself.
That's it. That's it. Good to have you here, pal. We've been keeping the topics light all week. I didn't text you with anything specific. Today we're talking about really, morning motivation, 5 things to do right away instead of. And Johnny's comment was really great. Marty's comment, we're surrounded by people at events over the Christmas holidays, and some are like, "Nah, don't do that," and this. And so I'm like, I'm going to start tomorrow. I'm going to start next week, or I'm going to wait till New Year's. And our messaging today is no. The Christmas Eve's over. Christmas Day's over. It's Boxing Day. Let's get going. Let's fucking go. AJ, how would you? So
we learned today what Boxing Day was, Marty.
Yeah, our American friends didn't know that, AJ.
Yeah, we didn't know what was going on.
Oh no! Wow. Yeah. Actually, and so Boxing Day is actually when we celebrate Christmas here for my family.
Oh,
so we got a big one today. Like I'm. After this show, I sign off and I'm immediately into the kitchen, just getting stuff ready for the next 3 or 4 hours. We got almost 60 people over today.
Oh wow!
And, it's a whole shit. It's a big one for us.
I know Zeglin. I know Zeglin is a whiskey connoisseur. Marty, Johnny, he loves his whiskey, and I know he likes it in moderation. He likes to enjoy it nicely, socially with.
I'm the same way, AJ. I'm moderation. I don't do it often, but I enjoy it.
So I got to ask the $1 million question today, Mr. Zeglin. Day like today, you're going to get off the show after 8:00. When's that first shot of whiskey going to be poured today?
You know what? I would say probably around honestly,
Marty, he's already caught. He's looking at the clock going, okay, I think it's going to be around this time.
He's been thinking about it all week.
I am. Yeah, no, probably around 11 o'clock or so, 11:30. It will definitely be in the morning. I feel
Very nice.
I need a good 3 hours to get stuff going here in the kitchen. Got to start the stuffing. Got to make the punch. I got to make chicken cheese balls. I got to make a bunch of stuff getting ready.
Yeah.
So I got to be locked in for that. But there'll be a really good gin punch that we make every day.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
And I really love gin as well. It's my second favorite choice after whiskey. So. There might be 1 or 2 gin punches that sneak their way in before the first whiskey.
Yeah, I think gin may have played a role in how AJ met Melissa, Marty, and John. I know that.
Really?
No, that was whiskey. That was whiskey.
I love the transparency.
I love that. Hey, Zeglin, as we obviously we're going to be around next week too, but let's just spend maybe a couple minutes reflecting. Reflect a little bit on 2024. Reflect upon the show with us. I guess maybe in some ways putting you on the spot. Have there been a moment or moments that have stood out for you in the last year, either personally, professionally, on the show? Something where, or something that hangs out, where somebody said something to you, or you're wishing you could say something like. I don't know, Zeg. We're talking 5 things to do right away. We're kind of spending some time reflecting and just put some light topics on the table here today. Anything for you, AJ, that really stands out for you in 2024 or as you've gone through the holiday season here for you, brother?
Yeah, well, for me, specifically in regards to this show, it's really been this great resource for me. I know that you bring me on to try to help give some points or some knowledge or share some experience. Or deliver some positive messages for your listeners. But I got to share with you, for myself, it's been really helpful too. When I got out of school, I had a placement where I did my practicum and then where I worked doing contract work. And I kind of hung out there as long as I could because I was surrounded by other people, other therapists, right? And I was kind of not scared, but if I took that next step on my own, we already talked about this last time, get my own place and stuff. Now I would just be by myself in there, right? So I wouldn't walk out of my office in there and bump into other therapists and have these conversations and get to talk about stuff and throw ideas out and listen to other people where I could sit down and listen to people talk and learn from them, right? And then and then along comes a show and you're like, hey, would you be interested in jumping in on our show? And I was like, yeah, I'm in for whenever you have an idea, I'm in 100%.
Yeah, I know you are. Yeah.
No, but and then so sometimes it's that whole thing when one door closes, maybe another one opens. And I kind of lost that resource of working in an environment with a bunch of other therapists. But then I'm able to come on the show and I get to listen to all of you guys talk every day. Yes. I get to log in early when I can and listen to some of the great guests that you've had on talk. Right. Then we get to have conversations. I get to have ideas and thoughts that I put out, sometimes validated by the group, which is nice.
Yes.
Sometimes when you're just living in your own head, working in your own bubble, right? And then I also, though, get to hear you guys say stuff, and I get to sit there and just honestly think and take that information in. And it's turned in this incredible resource for myself that really replaced working in a spot with all these other mental health professionals, is to come in here and be a part of this group. And so, reflecting back, just feel extremely fortunate to be part of this group. And
that's cool.
The way that it's helped me continue to develop as a person and as a professional is I can't even tell you guys how helpful it's been.
That's awesome. And Jonny, Marty, what I love about AJ's response is that when I first met with him, I said, brother, I need you to keep it to 60-second answers, 90-second sound bites. And as we know, AJ just dropped a good 3.5-minute sound bite there for us, Jimmy. So
I can't do it, man. I'm working. You know what? I'm starting right now. I'm not waiting till January.
He said the same thing to me, brother. He said the same thing to me. He's like, hey, I need you to do it like this. I'm like, God damn it.
You guys are awesome.
But AJ, I agree with you, brother, because it's like, I look forward to you coming on the show because I know that there's going to be some conversation that's going to stimulate me. And I think that's what, that's what it's all about between, the host, the guests. It's all about having conversations that helps us progress. And I'm totally with you, brother.
Yeah, it's been really rewarding. It's been really rewarding meeting a bunch of different people, getting different points of view. And I like I said, I've said this to Jonny many times and Marty, is that I leave the show learning something daily. Like something you said, AJ, to me, said to us a couple of days ago, I'm reflecting upon it because I said it to you and now it's come back to me, which was, you're like, hey, if I've spent the last number of years building up this profession, yes, now it's time to get an office for myself, or what the hell is the last 3 years for? And in many ways, I'm like, okay, now it's time to start selling mornings in the lab. Well, why? Well, what the hell's the last year of your life for? Oh, right. I spent the last year of my life building this thing. Now it's time to fucking sell it. Right. So it was the same. It was the same reminder for me after you said it back to me. We hung up that show a couple of days ago and I was like, right, Bilous, like fuck aha moment here, because AJ's just giving back to me what I've been saying to him. And it happens through conversation. And what I like about this show and this experience that we keep building is that it's not an echo chamber. And that's what I'm trying to create here, is not an echo chamber, right? Which is, we got different views, different ideas, and different concepts. So, but Zegna, I know the clock is almost up here, brother. I know you got a bunch of cooking today to get after, and you got that whiskey coming up in less than 3 hours.
Yeah, I'm going to be in my happy place there. I love being in the kitchen.
Yes, sir.
What's the first thing you're cooking right after the show?
So the first thing I actually get started on is the base for the stuffing.
Oh yeah,
so it's all the gizzards. It's like the chicken hearts and livers and stuff like that.
The necks
going in.
Yeah,
Johnny's garlic. Flesh, baby.
Yeah.
I've been to AJ's parties before. Jonny, Marty, him and Melissa make a mean charcuterie board. Zeglin, you have been known to make a kick-ass charcuterie board, man.
I take great pride in my charcuterie boards, man. I really like to the presentation, the way they look, the balance of flavors, the salty, the sweet, with the, you know what I mean? It's all got to make sense. It's all got to be.
And I got to think Anderson, a man of flesh, must love the charcuterie board. It's just a board of meat, with cheese, Johnny.
Yeah, there's no question. Different types of tasting different types of meat is fun.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, and Lauren crushes a good charcuterie board here too. We were at a Christmas party last week, boys. There's a charcuterie board. I bet you it must have cost at least $1,000 to $1,500 to fill the board with meat. It was so big. You're like, holy fart, that thing is big. How much did it cost to put the meat on that plate? Right? So anyways, AJ, I appreciate you, man. A lot of love for you from me to you and your family. I hope you guys had a great holiday season. Enjoy your Christmas Boxing Day experience today with the crew. And we'll look forward to welcoming you back next Tuesday and keep this dialogue going. Any final words from you, brother?
No, just thanks for having me, guys. I hope your Christmas with your families was great.
Yeah.
And that you enjoyed that time with them. And I just look forward to the next year of the show.
AJ, can you imagine Johnny just sitting around the house in his pajamas watching Christmas movies with his girls? I can't, because that's what he did yesterday.
Yeah, why is that so hard? Why is that so hard to believe? What's so not believable?
You present this character, which I love. It's why I love you. But there's this character presented, and I just don't see you as the dad sitting around with his like fucking.
But the character commits to all areas of his life.
But I love it. That's what I love about you, though. But it's just like I said, that's the allure of us, is that I can't see you just laying around, Al Bundy, hand down the pants, watching the fucking Christmas movie.
I had some good fucking naps too, bro.
I know you.
Yeah, that's good, man.
That's exactly. There's Jimmy was behind the scenes saying, "Yeah, Johnny doesn't know the name of the movie because he was busy napping." See, we fucking knew it.
No, I mean, but when it came down to it, they picked the movie. They were happy. They're happy. I'm happy.
Yeah.
And then at that point, it's just fucking gravy, man. We're just sitting there having a good time. It didn't matter what they picked or what game they wanted to play. It was just the fact that they were happy and I was having fun with them because they were happy. It was perfect.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, Mr. Sagan, we'll walk you out of here. And I know we're wrapping up the show here. Marty and Johnny got to get going.
Right, AJ.
See you guys.
Enjoy yourself, AJ. Yes,
good to see you, AJ.
Too. Thanks, guys.
Good to see you, brother. Take care of yourself. Okay, say hi to Melissa and the gang for us. All right, so AJ's going to get out of here. Boys, I know you got to rock and roll as well, so we're going to walk you guys out as well, and then I'm going to wrap up the show with Jimmy and the Creator Spotlight here today. Marty, you said you're not going to work today, so are you literally ending the show?
No, I said I am.
Oh, you are working today. Sorry, I thought
I got to get back in my routine. Yeah.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, let's
get it. I would have trained this morning, but the gym didn't open till soft ass 8 o'clock.
What the fuck is that?
So I couldn't get in there early. I'm like, so my clients are pissed.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get in there tomorrow morning, and they'll be excited to get back. I'll be excited to get back with my clients and all that shit.
You got to get the key. Give me the key. Give me the key. I'll open it up for you guys.
Well, the gym I train at and the gym I manage.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I get you.
They ain't give me the gym where I train at. They ain't gonna do that. I'll be in that motherfucker all day, all night.
All right, brother. Listen, Marty, you enjoy your day today with the gang, and lots of love for you, Johnny. You, what are you up to now? Too? You going good for a lift, or are you taking it easy today, Johnny?
So I'm gonna train today. What is it? My middle daughter's boyfriend. They're pretty serious. They've been together a long time. He's going to be here probably around around maybe noon or 2.
Yeah.
And then so that by that time I'm going to basically be kicking ass from now until noon.
Nice.
And whenever they're here, they kind of, by the time they get up and get moving, it's about noon. So I just make sure that I rock and roll hard until noon, and then I hit cruise control and hang with them.
Marty, I think this is your potential new son-in-law where you're crushing 100 burpees. You're going to put him through some training, eh? This is the guy, yeah.
Hey, yeah, but this will be far more than 100 burpees. He's a young stud. I mean, I had to push him pretty hard last year to make him puke.
Yeah.
And he's vowed not to puke this year. So I said, okay, well then we're gonna move that. We're gonna start training at 4. I said, because I got to be on the show at 5. He goes, well, what about after? I said, no, it's too late. We got to go at 4. So I'm going to take a little bit of an edge by getting him up a little earlier than last time.
Oh yeah, Johnny's betting the cards.
Yes, sir.
All right, guys. Listen, you guys have a good one. I got a little bit of work today too, but I'm gonna kind of take it. My goal is to take it easy as much as possible today as well here. So as I regroup and get ready for the coming weeks and months ahead of us here. So
yes, sir. I'm gonna holler at you later, Keith.
You bet your brother.
We got to wrap, man. We ain't rapped in a while, man.
I agree. Yeah, come knock on my door there. For sure. Let's do that.
I got you, bro.
All right, boys. Yeah. You guys have a good one. Me and Jimmy are going to do the Creator Spotlight, and we'll talk to you guys tomorrow morning, okay?
See y'all tomorrow.
Have a good loop, everyone.
All right, have a good loop, guys. All right, Johnny and Marty, you're out of here, Jimmy. Let's keep it rolling, pal. Let's keep our creator spotlight coming up for that. Yeah, there's the do there, Jimmy. So, guys, we spent the last hour here, Mornings Alive with Keith and Friends, the only morning show to get your ass out of bed and help you achieve those big goals, the morning show for men. And if you're curious, take some men's journal, take some men's health, add a little bit of Howard Stern, add a little bit of old school FM radio, toss it into a blender, and you got the morning show, Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. And the friends have left. Just got Jimmy here and Walter pushing the buttons. But now we are going to get into what we do every single day on this show, and we call it the Creator Spotlight. What's the Creator Spotlight, you wonder? It's a time on the show where we're growing the show both on YouTube and on LinkedIn. We look for somebody on the LinkedIn platform like, hey, that human is doing some great work. That human is showing up every single day. That human is not mailing in. They're being consistent. They're establishing great habits, and they're building a great following behind them. So today we are going to take a minute to celebrate a creator on the platform. And Jimmy, I'm getting my screen all set up for this. Today we're going to celebrate somebody on the platform who is resides in Parrish, Florida, in the good old United States of America. The guy solves what's next. Yeah, think about that. Solving what's next, not what's already been solved. He's an author, a coach, a founder, a speaker, an executive, and he's a pilot. He's all about ending indecision for elite performers by guiding them to clarity, bold action, and a life of control, purpose, and legacy. What he does is he coaches elite performers, and he's the founder of, well, if I said, then he'd know. So I got the surprise coming up here, right? That's what we do here on the Spotlight. This guy, wow, Jimmy, let's just do it, man. Today, Mornings in Live with Keith and Friends, we're going to get them all set up here on the screen, is going to celebrate on Boxing Day here in America. We're going to celebrate, getting the buttons pressed here, Jimmy. We're going to go with Lon Strushchein. Lon, I'm sure I wrecked your name. Lon Strushchein, yes. Solves what's next, ending indecisions for elite performers. And listen, I stumbled upon his profile, thoroughly enjoyed looking through it. And what struck me was I looked at his about. Let's go through his about together. By February 2022, he was at the top of his game. He had caught what he chased, the C-suite office, pay, travel, image, everything. And the guy quit. Most think that he left unhappy, right? Just like that. Smarter than that, what he did was harder, though. He left something extraordinary, and a lot of us are comfortable in that extraordinary place. But he left. And most elite performers that Lon talks about have bigger dreams resting inside them, but the very success they've built is now holding them back. They feel trapped by golden handcuffs, tethered to a career, a schedule, the guaranteed paycheck, the life that no longer inspires them. You know that person. We talk about it on the show, racing towards retirement. At the same time, they wrestle with the newness of risk aversion and the fear of regret, wondering if they'll ever take control of their life's best days. Now, Lon knew what it felt like because he was there. So he left. And at Normal 40, he does relationship-based process, starting by helping people articulate their dream, identifying the bigger life they've been waiting to build, and then he helps those folks achieve those big goals. He's got a book called The Trade. It's the best. Of course he's got a book. Hey, he's an author. Of course he's got a book. You got to come on the show, my friend. He's got a book. It's called The Trade. The bestseller endorsed. If it wasn't a bestseller, would he tell us that? Joke, Lonnie. It's a bestseller endorsed by leaders like General Stan McChrystal and Ryan Daniel Morin. And his Normal 40 podcast has become a trusted space for real talk about midlife transitions and reinvention, just like we do here in the lab. So today's Mornings in the Lab Creator Spotlight is taking all the time in the world to celebrate Lon Strushchein. He is all the way from Parrish, Florida, helping folks change their life is what Lon does. So Lon, here's how it works, my friend. We're celebrating you, and what we're hoping you're going to be encouraged to do is come on this show and celebrate somebody in your orbit so we can make them tomorrow's Creator Spotlight right here on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. There we go. Jimmy, celebrating Lon today. South Dakota. Yeah, Lawndale, South Dakota State University. Lonnie, that's just south of me, man. I'm here north of North Dakota, up here in Manitoba. So, Lon, come hang out with us, my friend. Come hang out with us and tell us who you want to celebrate in the orbit for tomorrow's Creator Spotlight. All right, Jimmy, I think we're wrapping it up, man. Another show in the belts, another notch in the belts. Another hour here done. It's like 70 some odd minutes. We're going to be back here tomorrow, guys. Mornings in the Lab with Keith and friends, 8 o'clock Eastern time. The only show to get your ass out of bed to help you achieve those big goals. You're a free accountability partner. There's not another morning show out there that does this every single day to help you achieve those goals. Nope. No, it just doesn't happen. It doesn't exist. This is why we created this platform for you guys. So, all right. So, Jimmy, we're going to get out of here. We're going to do the post-production of this show, and we'll be back tomorrow at 8 o'clock Eastern time. And, yeah, we've got some good things to talk about. Ideally, we're going to get to the Charlie Munger, Jeff Bezos conversation tomorrow, but if not, we're going to get to it next week. All right. On behalf of Jonny, Marty, AJ Zeglin, Lon, our Creator Spotlight today, and all the great discussions we had in the lab, we are going to get out of here, and we'll see you guys tomorrow, 8 o'clock, right here, Eastern time, LinkedIn, YouTube. Thanks, Wooden, for joining us today. We'll see you guys tomorrow.